one is very chalky, so it kind of dissolves in her mouth. The other one she needs to swallow. And so when I give them to her, I give them 2 at a time. And I make sure I have a big cup of a beverage with a straw. And I have her open her mouth nice and wide. And I take the pills in my fingers, two at a time, and I stick them way back, way back, as far as I can. So it's harder for her to spit them out. And I think what's happening is they just kind of put them like on the tip of her tongue, and she can spit them out, flick them out, cheek them, do what she wants. But if they're further back, it'd be harder for her to do that.
Hi everyone, I'm Lexie Callies. Do you feel the squeeze of caring for an elderly loved one and school-aged children? Then welcome to the Sandwich Stories. Let's dig in.
Hi everybody, it's Lexie Callies with Sandwich Stories. I hope you're having a really great week. My great week started on Monday. I have to say, I'm gonna give my son a little good job, attaboy, hurrah. He on Monday had 3 great things happen. So I'm gonna give a little plug and say good job, Shelby. He tried out for varsity swim team and made it. So next year, as a freshman, he will be on the varsity swim team. So he's very excited about that with a couple of his friends. He had a solo contest for band. He plays the clarinet, and he got an outstanding performance, which means it's the highest score he could personally receive. And then also the same night, he was able to rank up to Life Scout, which for those not in the Scout world, that is the rank before Eagle Scout. And he has got a goal to get Eagle before he's 16. So he's on his way. He has to be Life Scout for 6 months, and then he can start to work towards Eagle. So we're very proud of him, and it just was a really great week. And I just want to be happy and say, good job, Shelby. Mommy is so proud of you. So there's that. Other than that, I want to talk about medications and what happens or what starts to happen when your loved ones start to not be able to swallow them. They can swallow them, but they're being stubborn and spitting them out or cheeking them, which is what is going on with my mom. So I don't know if this happened at her last location, because if it did, no one told me. But I have been told recently, especially like first thing in the morning, Peggy is having a hard time swallowing her meds. And it's not that she can't swallow them, because it's not a function problem. It's not a swallowing problem. Thank God. She just isn't doing it. So what I've been told is that they've been giving them to her. And of course, first thing in the morning, she has a lot of pills to take. And in all honesty, I know that they have a protocol they have to follow. Vitamins are even part of the directives from the doctors, those kinds of things. So they have to give them to her. But if they didn't give her vitamins, if they were saying, you know what, we gave her meds and now she's spitting out her vitamins, I would have said, just don't give her vitamins. She'll survive a day. It'll be fine. Her medication, on the other hand, she needs to have. And they're all pretty important. So they're not even something that, it's not just one thing we could skip, right? So she has 2 blood pressure medications. She has an L-Dopa, which helps her not be so stiff. I guess really like if that one she didn't take, it'd be okay. She has a Robistatin, which is for her cholesterol. She has Zoloft. And if you've ever been on an antidepressant, you know that you can't just stop it cold turkey. So she has that. And she takes gabapentin in the morning, but really, yet again, if she didn't take that in the morning, it wouldn't hurt her. So really, the blood pressure medication, the statin, and the Zoloft really are the ones I really worry about. So they said that, once she gets going throughout the day, they don't have any problems. And it's not every day, because I had to ask, we had a doctor's appointment today and we were bringing it up. So I asked, is this an everyday situation, every morning situation? And they said, no, it's not every day. It's not every morning, but when she does it, it's tough. So I said, okay. So when I give her meds, when I have to go out with her and they give me her meds to take later when I'm with her, she has 4, normally it's in the afternoon, which means she has 4 pills to take, 2 capsules, and then 2 tablets. And one is very chalky, so it kind of dissolves in her mouth. The other one she needs to swallow. And so when I give them to her, I give them 2 at a time. And I make sure I have a big cup of a beverage with a straw. And I have her open her mouth nice and wide. And I take the pills in my fingers, 2 at a time, and I stick them way back, way back, as far as I can. So it's harder for her to spit them out. And I think what's happening is they just kind of put them like on the tip of her tongue, and she can spit them out, flick them out, cheek them, do what she wants. But if they're further back, it'd be harder for her to do that. And then I give her big cup of water or whatever beverage. It might be a latte, like a nice latte. And she'll drink some of that and she'll stop. I say, okay, let me see. And she shows me. And sometimes the chalky ones tend to stick to her tongue. And so I was like, nope, they're still there. If they are still there. Nope, they're still there. Keep drinking. And she drinks and she swallows them down. But I always make sure I double check. And so I was telling the nurses this, and so one of the nurses that's there on a regular basis, and it has known my mom since she moved in, said that she will try that. She will try to put them as far back as possible, put a glove on and put them as far back as possible. And hopefully that will work. I did have one of the head nurses ask about how I felt about crushing some of them. And you really don't think about it. And I never thought about it. I thought, oh, yeah, you can crush it. No problem. Just crush it, put it in some applesauce, feed it to her. She'll be fine. Double check. Double check every single medication. Do not just go ahead and crush whatever tablet there is, or if it's a capsule, opening it up, there's a powder or those little beads. You cannot just do that. So I'll double check. So the Zoloft, you can do that. There's a liquid form of that. Her doctor said she's given it before, but it's very, very bitter and it's hard to swallow. Sorry for the pun. And but you can crush Zoloft and put it in applesauce and take it that way. Her L-Dopa, you can put, it said that as long as it has like a citric acid, so like orange juice, you can put it in an orange juice, swallow it that way. Her Midodrine, which is her main blood pressure medication, you cannot crush it at all. It is a teeny tiny pill though, like so small, like almost like the size of rice, so small. And so I'm hoping that one, like maybe if we just stuck it in applesauce and had her swallow it, be easier, just all go down at one time. But then I'd be afraid she'd like chew it and you can't crush it or chew it. So that's a tough one. But like I said, I'm hoping that if we get them way far back, like that teeny tiny one, we get it way far back, she'll be able to swallow it pretty easily. I have yet to look at the statin because I actually forgot about it until I started listing them all off. So I'll have to look to see if we can crush that one if necessary. And then the atomoxetine, which is the generic form for Strattera, which is an ADHD medication, comes in capsules, but it has a powder on the inside. Now, when I looked it up, it said that you could possibly open up the capsules and put the powder in an applesauce and swallow it. But it did say, oddly enough, you have to be very careful with that. Like, you can't let it get on your skin or near your eyes. It's very irritating. They said if it got on your skin, not to let it sit there, to like wash it off very quickly. So that was a little odd. I'd never heard of that. So this is what I'm saying. It's like, so don't just think you can crush it, open it, and put it in applesauce or pudding or juice or whatever, and you'll be fine. You need to double check, look at all the pills one by one and see if it is possible to do that. Because I just thought, yeah, sure, no problem. Let's do that. Nope. I learned a lesson. That's something new. I learned that lesson. I thought you could. I thought it would all be the same, and it's not. And I'm sure that has to do with the amount of the way it metabolizes in the body, how long it sits in the stomach, release time, those kinds of things. I'm sure all of this comes into play whenever you're talking about how you're physically changing the medication. Like I said, vitamins, that if they said those were the last things they gave her and she just didn't want to swallow it, okay, fine. That's all right. I mean, calcium pills, if you've ever seen them, they are big. They're big. They're like horse pills. They're really big. And they do have like a little split in the middle, so you can break them apart, which makes it easier to swallow. But yeah, so this is just your PSA to double check all medications, talk to your doctors, make sure that you can do with this. Maybe there are other forms of the medication that might be easier to take. Like I said, if there's a liquid form of it, but sometimes the liquid form might be worse because it's bitter or sour, and it's just really hard to swallow. Some of them, like the L-Dopa, said to take with the citric acid. Something else said that you could take it with applesauce or a yogurt. So it just really depends. So you got to look into the medications and make sure that this is doable for your loved one. I mean, when I was a little kid, my forefather, he was the one who had to dose my medications. I, for some reason, as a child, would have bronchitis every single summer for like 10 years. And I would have barking coughs, and I sounded like I was smoking 10 packs a day. And so I was on a lot of antibiotics, and I did get to a point where I didn't have to take the liquid form as a little kid. I had to take the pink stuff that you keep inside the refrigerator. I had to take that as a little kid. And then finally I was able to take capsules, but I could not swallow them to save my life, no matter what I did. So finally we got the capsules, and my dad would open the capsules, and those were little teeny tiny beads. He would open them up and put them in applesauce, pudding, peanut butter, whatever it was. And I'd take a spoonful of that and swallow it down. So I had to do that all the time. So that's why I just thought, oh yeah, just open up the capsule, crush the pill. It'll be fine. Just whatever it takes to get it in her, do it. Not always possible. Yeah. So if you're having some of these same problems that I'm having, and like I said, when my mom's doctor was asking what was going on, like if it was functional, it was not. It's her being stubborn. And I get it. Like I think about it. It's like you're taking so many medications, so many pills. It's not fun to start your day with taking like 10 pills a day. And like I said, that includes vitamins, but still. I mean, 5 of them are regular medications, prescription medications, and then vitamins. It's just a lot. And I want to make sure that she gets them when she needs them because, her medications are timed out very specifically. And when I saw her today, she gave this look like she was miming to me that she had to vomit or something. I said, no, you don't have to vomit. You're okay. You're not going to vomit. And I said, swallow what's in your mouth. And she was like, I can't, whatever it was. And then finally I got a napkin and she spit out something and it looked yellow. So it looked like a pill. So she probably just had it sitting in her mouth. And instead of swallowing it, because it probably tastes disgusting by that point, this is probably what I was thinking. It's probably bitter and gross, and her body's like, ooh, danger, don't swallow this. Because poison naturally tends to be a bitter, sour taste. And so it's your body's way of protecting itself from being poisoned. So she didn't want to swallow it or couldn't swallow it. Her body might not let her swallow it because she let that pill sit in her mouth for too long that it just tastes awful. So we had to deal with that. And so that's when I was asking what was going on, and they brought everything up. So hopefully tomorrow will be a better day. And I hope she makes it easier for her caretakers to help her in the morning. So with that said, yay. Song of the week is going to be Mr. Blue Sky by Electric Light Orchestra. So anyway, it has a little bit of Beatles feel, and I'm sure that if you don't know who they are, and you just kind of heard it, you might think it was the Beatles, but it is not. It is Electric Light Orchestra, Mr. Blue Sky, and it's just a fun song. So I hope you enjoy that. I hope you research your medications, make sure that they are possible to break up and put in applesauce, and if they're not, maybe we can come up with a new way of administering the meds. All right. I hope you all have a really great week, and I will talk to you soon. Love you guys. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to Sandwich Stories. I really hope you learned some new things and enjoyed it. If you did, tell a friend, tell your mom, tell your sister, tell your dad, tell everybody you know to also listen. Maybe they'll learn some new things, how to help each other out, and find us at Sandwich Stories Podcast. Thanks so much.